think we're live. Oh, we're live. Yes, we are. Shalom. We're live tonight on this Tuesday. It's like, what day is it? April 18th. April 18th, 2023, and it is a Tuesday, I'm pretty sure. Let me just double check. Tuesday, yes, April 18th. I'm pretty sure because I got plans for this week, so I'm trying to keep track of the days. Today is 4/18, 9:41 p.m. Dog trying to get out from under my desk already. That's working. It works for me. Anyway, hope y'all had a wonderful day. I certainly did. It warm, well, not really warming up, but the snow is melting. And my cat came back today. Bosco came back this morning. Yeah, he all of a sudden came. He's limping, fall, but he's okay. He's back. He's crashed out on the couch all day. I don't know where he was for 5 days. Let's see. Disappeared Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night. So he's gone about 3-4 days. Didn't think he was coming back. Well, I mean, I didn't give up hope or nothing like that, but he's never taken off like that. And then right after he took it off, it went into a blizzard. Went from 80 degrees into a blizzard for a few days. So I thought, wow, hope he's hunkering down somewhere. But anyway, he came back safe and sound. A little bit of limping on his front paw, but tried to feel it out. I don't see anything, but anyway, he's back. So that's good. Glory goes to God for that. Prayers answered. Yes, that's what we're doing tonight. I'm just gotta pull up real quick. Where is it? Why? Oh, here it is. Skeptics Annotated Bible. Daniel's contradictions. There's only 3 in the whole book. Never seen nothing like it. Every book is just packed full of contradictions, but Daniel's only got 3. 1 in the first chapter and 2 in the last chapter. And so we haven't had to go to contradictions every night like usual. So anyway, and they're not really big. They're I would call minor contradictions, not like a maker or a breaker contradiction. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, what else? Well, a lot. You know what's weird? I had a dream after Bosco left, because I didn't know. I wonder if he went to somebody else's house and they saw how nice he was and they brought him in and they're keeping him. Because he would probably go to anybody. He's very friendly. Anyway, I thought, well, I'm hoping somebody took him in. You know what I mean? Because all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it went from, hey, Grace, how you doing tonight? Shalom. Bosco came back. He was back this morning. Remember a couple days ago when he went missing? It was a blizzard. We had like 3 inches of snow again. We had tons of snow. And remember I said he's been gone like a couple days, but I had a dream that he came walking back up to the door and all the snow almost melted except a little bit of white patches. You can see the grass and white patches, just a flash, like just a flash. And I did. I told you guys I had a dream that the snow was almost melted and it was just patchy, and he was walking up towards the door. And sure enough, today almost all the snow is melted, just exactly how I saw it, with the snow patches everywhere. Almost melted, but snow patches, and there he is, walking up to the door. Anyway, just like in my dream. So anyway, that kind of had me not worry. But I thought maybe it's just like my hopes are in a dream. Anyway, yeah, awesome. I'm so super happy. Um, now the other cat, he's not so happy. He was hoping he was gone. He was hoping he wasn't coming back, but he did come back. So anyway, everybody's got to get along. So how was your day today, Grace? Hope all is well with you. Hope everyone in your family is doing good. I hope your ex-father-in-law is healing. Hope all is well in Graceville. I just put up a very helpful video for Mark, if he's listening, because he listens. So I just put up a very helpful video on my other channel for with some Bible verses for maybe he can conquer his fear and maybe grow his faith a little bit, maybe grow some a little, you know what I'm saying? Grow something anyway. Hold on a second. Shut this off. Hold on a second. I gotta answer somebody's text. Let's see. All right. All right. Let me text in. All right. All right. Let me just back up a little. You can't type today. Wait. Okay, I just messed up here. This thing's touchy. Hold on a second. I'm trying to scroll and it's putting your comments all over the place. Hold on a second. Ah. Goodness, this thing's hard to control. I think I'm gonna pull it up on my screen real quick. Or I could pull it up on my other phone, I guess. All right, hold on a second, you guys. Oh, darn it, I'm on my other channel. All right, I might not be able to bring it up on here. So first of all, I gotta mute. All right, I gotta look on it on some other device because all I have to do is just barely touch that thing. So you can almost not scroll it without. All right. Well, hey, D, how you doing tonight? Good to see you. Shalom. Hope you had a wonderful day. How was your Tuesday? Grace says I have some super exciting news, but I don't want to share here. I'll text you later. All right. Gotcha. That sounds awesome, Grace. Super happy already. Ex-dad-in-law is improving. Should be able to go home this week, and that's good. Oh, so relieved taxes are done. Nothing like procrastination till the very last second. Yeah, that's me. I do that a lot with a lot of too many things. I remember being second, third, fourth, fifth grade, having like 2 months to do a book report, and I'd be like up all night trying to do it at the last minute. I've always been like that, man. Anyway, and somebody told me one time. The one time somebody was upset because there was a deadline coming up, and they didn't think I was going to make the deadline. And my friend said to the other person, well, he said it to the other people. He said, so I'm getting distracted by a text. Somebody's texting me about the funeral, so that's what that's about, right? So I don't want to ignore her. But, if it's really hard to concentrate when somebody's trying to text me about funeral. Let me see if I can see the chat. All right, yeah. So anyway, I'll use my phone here. But yeah, but anyway, the other person vouched and said, she's always been like this. She always waits to the last minute, and she works good under pressure. My friend vouched and said she does her best under pressure, and that's nice and everything, but it's just like, I put myself under unnecessary pressure when I do that. Unnecessary pressure. Always done that though, ever since book reports in elementary school. All right. D says, hi, everyone. Good to see you today, D. Shalom. Hope you had a wonderful day. Glad he came back. Yes, he was there when we got up. Thanks, D. It was good to see him. He was limping on his front paw a little bit. I checked for anything. I didn't see anything, but I don't know. Might have sprained it. That was you too in school? Oh my goodness. I've always done that to myself. I know. And then somebody vouched me and said she does her best work under pressure. Thanks. But yeah, I thought, yeah, but I am doing this unnecessary to myself. Anyway, deadlines, pressure, you know what I mean? It is a lot of pressure having deadlines. I had some deadlines a couple weeks ago, a week ago, or whatever it was, a couple weeks ago. Oh, horrible. Anyway, you did the usual today on Tuesdays, went to AA, grocery shopped, and went to the Bible study here. Oh, yeah, that's nice. That's a nice day. It's a nice Tuesday, D. How was your study, says Grace? We started Genesis, 2nd chapter. Nice. So, D, are you going to point out how there's two creation stories, one in Genesis 1 and the other in Genesis 2? My study routine changed when I went to college. Yeah. Yeah, I had to relearn everything when I went to college because I never knew. It was so weird because on day one, the lady's talking. I never went to college. I don't know anything about college. And on the first day, everything's fine. Everybody's in their seats and she's talking, teacher's talking. And then all of a sudden, people just start writing. Everybody at the same time starts writing. And I'm thinking, what are they all writing down? And like everybody would write at the same time. I'm thinking, this is so weird. What's going on? She's not telling anybody to write. How do they all know how to write at the same time? Anyway, it took me a while to figure that out. What she's doing is telling you what the next test, the test coming up is going to be, and basically giving you the answers. It took me a long time to figure that out. I'm thinking, okay, I really can't peek and look because I don't want to get caught cheating on the first day. What is everybody writing down? I didn't know nothing about taking notes, nothing. To me, school was like a party, you know? This social kind of thing. I know nothing about that. Nothing about that. I kept thinking, why do everybody see, they all write at the same time and they stop at the same time? Like, what are they doing? Nobody told me, right? Anyway, blew my mind. I don't know nothing about college. Nobody told me nothing. Interested in what others will say about chapter 6? I think that's where the fallen angels for human women. The fallen angels took women for their own. I still have trouble picturing. Yeah, I do too, D, because how is a spirit going to get a woman pregnant? Hello. Like I said, they don't have sperm. They have viable sperm. How are they going to get a woman pregnant? Seriously, they are not flesh and blood. How are they going to get a human being pregnant? It makes no sense. They really have reproductive organs? Makes no sense to me. Was your ex-father-in-law staying with you, Grace? Grace said, notes. How do you do that? I cheated. I brought in small tape. Oh, yeah, I didn't do that. I didn't have a record. I didn't think of that. I graduated in 82. It was supposed to be 2 years, but you guys know I didn't 1 year. I accidentally took all my classes in 1 year. Anyway, so I graduated in 82. I'm not sure they had tape recorders then. It probably had to be a big one I'd have to lug in. And then I did all my reports and everything on a typewriter. Did everything on a typewriter. There was no computers back then. So yeah, I'd type out my stuff and make a mistake. I'd have whiteout. We didn't have whiteout even. We had this white tape stuff and you had to stick it in there and tap the thing a bunch of times and cover it up. And anyway. No, D, he had emergency surgery, recovering difficulties, but improving now. D says glad his health is improving. He's awesome. The dad everyone wishes they had or have. Really? The dad, yeah, the perfect dad, huh? Bosco was catting around. I think so, D. Oh, get this. I think you're right, D, because guess what? So the 3 dogs have been watching. I'm asking the dogs, where's Bosco? They know who Bosco is. That Bosco hangs with the boys, you know what I mean? And I'm asking, where's Bosco? And they've been really concerned with me. And then when they go out at night, I always say, Bosco, call for him. And then, and when we got up this morning, the dogs, Caleb for sure was barking at the security monitor, at the screen. And I thought, oh, there's Bosco, I think, as a cat. I thought, well, I ran out there. I figured if it's him, he won't run away. I open the door and it's him. And anyway, I said, look, you guys, it's Bosco. I said, yay, Bosco, because they know we've been looking for Bosco. I tell them, go out and look for Bosco. Get Bosco. Anyway, so they're really happy. The dogs are happy. And when Bosco came in, all the dogs followed him. Guess where they were sniffing? They were all sniffing him hard on his rear end. All around his rear end, like Okay, so interesting. He came back with interesting smells all over his rear end. They were like, yeah. So whatever he was doing, he had to do with his rear end. You know what I mean? His little reproductive organs. They were, yeah, like Bosco the dog. Yeah. Anyway, they were smelling them hard. I never seen them smell something, an animal so hard. All three of them were smelling all over his rear end, his legs, his back above his tail, smelling his tail. And he was limping his front paw. Was a little hurt. Don't know what. I don't see anything, but anyway, he's happy to be back. It's like he's been he's been catting around. He's literally like he's been on a drunk for since Friday. He came home, ate, drank, and passed out on the couch for like, I don't know, last 12 hours. He's not really telling us too much. Really hasn't said anything. He just keeps saying, "I'm glad to be home." Anyway, oh yeah, he's been sleeping pretty much the whole time since he came home. He drank water for a long time, which is weird because it's snowing and puddles everywhere. But anyway, yeah, I gave him some tuna fish, and then he's good. All right, so anyway, he's back, and the weird last night. Remember, I told you guys he disappeared Friday when I was having a barbecue. It was really nice out. Well, it started raining Friday night. By Saturday morning, it had turned into snow and it turned into a blizzard, and the cat was gone. Well, ever since then, no stray cats came to eat because they come every night to eat. I've been watching on my cameras; they're not coming. Thought that's weird. Not only did my cat disappear, but all the stray cats disappeared. Like, huh. Anyway, now last night the stray cats came back to eat. 2 or 3 of them. And I thought, huh, that's where they're back. And then this morning, yep, it's like I told you guys when I had the dream a couple days ago. I had dreamt he came walking back with the snow had melted, but there was patches of snow all over. But he was walking through the patchy grass and snow right up to the door, and there he was, just like my dream. So anyway, so that's the plan, Stan. Oh, by the way, did I say we're finishing Daniel tonight? 11 and 12. We're already finishing Daniel. Bosco brought his crew with him. Yeah, the cat crew, yeah. CC, the 33. Yeah. You know what? Get this, you guys. So, back when I owned my other house, I used to have a Twins jersey. Well, I still have it. I have a Twins jersey, and it's from Torrey Hunter, and I can't remember what the number is. I had it for years. Minnesota Twins. And when I was going to sell my last house, I painted. I hired the guy that works for me in my jobs. I hired him and his friend to help me. We painted the home inside. I'd already painted the outside, but we all painted the inside. And I was wrecking my clothes. So I was trying to wear the same clothes. But anyway, I'd wrecked my Twins jersey. It got paint on it. So I started using it for a paint shirt. And I thought, man, if I ever see a jersey like that again, I'm going to buy it. Anyway, I saw a jersey again the other day in the thrift shop in this small town. I thought, oh, it's just like the one that I wrecked. Anyway, grabbed it. I'm not even sure whose it is. Oh, wait. I still don't know. Couldn't even tell you. But anyway, it's just like the one that I wrecked. Yeah, Lumini can get this, Grace. I bring it home and all that. And I remember I had bought a lot of shirts. I think about 11 shirts or 15 shirts. I don't know, it was a lot. There's a big stack of them. Anyway, I'm putting them on my shirts away. And as I'm hanging them up on the hanger, I noticed this shirt the twin shirt was number 33. I'm not kidding. Oh my goodness, I'm not kidding. That just choked me. I'm putting it on the hanger and I'm thinking, whoa, this is the 33. Whose is it? Who's twins number 33? I can't even, I gotta look. Oh, Justin Morneau. That's who it is. I think it is. Justin Morneau? Yeah, Justin Morneau. I'm wearing it. So I thought, wow, how could I have not seen that? That's just weird. Illuminati confirmed. So I could donate it back to the thrift shop. Or not. Anyway. I didn't even notice it. Not when I looked at it, not when I bought it, not when I got it home, not when I took it out of the bag, not when I showed the shirts to somebody. And then I didn't notice it till I was hanging it up on a hanger. I was gonna put it in my closet. I turned it around. So should I sell it? Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a replica though. It's not like a what do they call the whatever. The one they jacked the price up on. That's a replica. Lots of Twinkies fan. Yeah. Well, I thought that too about the Vikings and the I got this really nice leather jacket, Minnesota Vikings leather jacket. It is so nice. It is multiple, the purple and the yellow leather and everything's sewn together. It is a beautiful jacket. You wouldn't believe the stitching on it. The big Viking thing in the back. And anyway, it's a Viking thing. It's made by Carl Banks. Really nice. And I also have a Minnesota Wild, the hockey team. I also have that jacket. Same thing. It's green and red. And Carl Banks, another really nice silk lining. And I've had it for sale. Nobody wanted it. I've had it for sale for about a year and a half. I even put it in my garage sale for $75. Nobody bought it. And then I even left it out for half price sale, $37.50. Nobody bought it. So I don't know how big these fans are here. How can you not buy that nice jacket if you're a fan? I ain't wearing it, but these people, the fans are fans. I mean, I thought it was a good deal, but anyway, I still have them. I just went out to the garage the other day and I needed some moving blankets and I picked them up and there they are on a hanger with price tags still on them. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know how loyal these fans in Minnesota are. Maybe they already have all the stuff they want. I don't know. But so, oh, did I tell you guys there is a there's an open house. Here's an announcement. There's an open house for anybody who is curious about Freemasonry. I am not kidding. This came up on my phone. You know how you get like little weird news articles from weird news sites? Anyway, it said, oh, where was that place? Something starts with a W in Pennsylvania. Long name, I can't remember. Anyway, they're having an open house for anybody who's curious about Freemasonry. And that is what, and I'd be curious to sit down there and watch, see if like they really have people going in there. You gotta sell it during seat. Yo, mine's been, yep, it has been for sale. During the season. And then in the fall, during my garage sale, you can see it in person. It's perfect condition. Looked brand new, both of them. Who wouldn't buy it, right? Well, nobody bought it. That's who. Good price too. Anyway, and that was in fall. I mean, that's kickoff. It was in October actually, first week in October. The official season had already started. So I don't know. Who knows? The world's gone crazy, I tell you. All right. All right. Well, I will pray us in and get started. This is the last. This is the. I had something on a card. I use index cards, and I can't remember what I did because I started going through my. I got so excited. I started going through my seeds. I don't know if I'm going to start seeds like that, but I don't know. I got seeds. A lot. I still have a lot of seeds. But I have my garden right here in a little container. I think seeds are good for, I don't know, at least a couple seasons, wouldn't you think? Or do I have to put them in a vault in the North Pole, Antarctica, at 100 below? I guess people would rather steal Minnesota Viking helmets. Yeah, that one dude tried. He got busted red-handed. And the weird thing is, years later, I gave that to my dad, and then my dad sold his house, and he put it in a garage sale, and I saw it, and then I saw it in the garage sale, and I thought, oh, I want that back. So, because he had already had the garage sale, and he had boxed up the stuff. He said, "You want any of this stuff?" I said, "Yeah, that helmet. If you don't want the helmet, I'll take the helmet back." So then I had the helmet back. I put it in a garage sale here, and that same guy, I'm pretty sure it was the same guy because it was. Remember the short little guy? I told you he kept staring at my chest. It was the same guy. He did the same thing, and he pronounced golf balls the same way. He was calling them golf balls. I wanted those golf balls. I thought it is him. That's how he said the word golf balls. And the guy wanted my golf balls last time I was there. I had these totes full of golf balls. I had like it was like 1,000 golf balls. It was like 5 totes. I mean, they weighed a ton. The golf balls are heavy, guys. Golf balls. Golf balls. And then he comes up to this up to my to this sale. And I think there's that guy, the same guy that's from the cities that used to come my sales down there. And sure enough, he says, I said, "Hey, you used to come to my sales on Ames Avenue, right?" He goes, yeah. I said, "You came all the way up here?" He said, "Yeah. Look like a big sale." I said, "Yeah, it is, isn't it?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "You still got those golf balls?" I said, "You got the golf balls?" He said, "Yeah, I want those golf balls." I thought it is him. I think that's the guy that tried to steal the helmet. That's how the guy. That's him. I'm pretty sure. He wanted the golf balls. Yeah. Say it again. What did you want? The golf balls. I thought, yeah, it is you. It is him. I didn't say it. I didn't bust him out. But I felt like saying, "Are you looking for that helmet too?" He wanted the golf balls for almost nothing. No, I got a lot of money for those golf balls. Golf balls. I gotta make sure not to say golf balls now the rest of my life. Anyway, yummy. I bought some Crystal Light strawberry watermelon flavored. Maybe I'll drink more water. Drinking this plain water is boring. I used to think that, Dee, until I got into ice water and went cold turkey for like a week. And I used to think the same thing. And you guys heard me. I said, "There's no way I can drink plain water. I gotta have something in it. Plain water is boring and gross." Now it's like, oh man, I don't want to drink nothing but plain water. So you can, my mind just got like reset. Tomato and peppers are doing great. Started from seed. Did you what? You know what? I know a trick. I just saw it. You take those egg cartons that are made out of cardboard, and you just fill that with dirt, and then you stick a pencil and stick your seeds in there, and then you when you just cut them and plant them in a row, perfectly spaces them 2 inches apart. I cut them in long strips, but I was thinking about starting seeds, but it's still 6 more weeks till planting. Well, 5 more weeks. 5 or 6 more weeks till planting. So I don't know. Is it too early to start? I saw the dollar store had potting soil.
But I thought, do I want to do this, or should I just be lazy and go buy the starter plants? They're about 2 inches tall. You know, I mean, you can buy them like 6 of them for $1.50. I thought, should I just be lazy and do that, or should I just go through anyway? I had my hands full of dog food and treats, so I thought I'll think about it. Yeah, I hate thieves too, D. And there's always, like I said, there's stuff always stolen at my garage sales. Don't notice till later. I don't like ice water. I use very little ice. Yeah. The tomatoes she grew were delicious. My sister will be okay. My sister will be okay playing vegetables too. The tomatoes she grew were delicious. Yeah. I love homegrown food. I love it. I just love getting a salad and making spaghetti out of my garden. Cucumbers, just green beans, all of it, tomatoes. I just love summer here. Not too early if you're doing seeds like tomatoes and peppers. Start them inside, acclimate them for outdoors. Yeah. Would you have them in front of a big sunny window or what? I only have so many windows facing each direction because I'm in the Earth home here. And then they put a porch on the east window. She buys a small giant plants. Yeah, that's what I do, D. They're cheap. Like, I don't know, I could spend $20 and blast my garden full. Plus the potatoes, I already got that taken care of. I got couple bags of potatoes in my pantry that have roots growing out of all of them. You just cut those in half and drop those in the holes. I'm gonna have potatoes again. I always plant potatoes. And there's certain things you don't have. You can plant like green beans. The green beans I planted. In fact, I just had them right here. These are bush beans, and these you just plant in the ground. These I had more than this. I mean, so these are the black like bush beans, green beans. So well, President, we will get started on the last chapter of Daniel. Under a plant light, unless it's nice out, you're bringing them outside to acclimate. Yeah, when it starts getting warmer, like in the 40s, 50s. Yep, I like buying the small plants. It's kind of the lazier way to do it. Because normally I have tried planting them from seeds, and they just never work out. It just end up dying before the garden. But I never use the light. You know what I mean? I just put them by the window. Then they'd all bend over one way, and they'd turn around, they'd bend over the other way, and they'd sprung up too fast doing that. But yeah, the 12 on, 12 out with the light. Sounds like a plan. I don't have a light, but I can buy just a fluorescent light or whatever, right? Or growing light or whatever. I bought my son a bonsai tree years ago. He watered it and left it in the basement shower that we never used, forgot it there. Years later, we found it again. The roots grew into the drain. Really? Wow, the bonsai is still doing good. Wow. Green beans are my favorite vegetable. Yeah, I love them too. I froze a bunch last year, but I love them fresh. All right. So I am on my other channel. So let me I guess I don't even need to do that. We're just gonna hop right into it. All right. That's funny. You know why? Because them roots could sense the water down inside the sewer and the drain. So that's what it does. That's how I get. That's how you get roots like I did through your pipes under the ground outside. The roots from a tree will go. They'll find that water pipe and they will bust through it and they will drink from it. It's what the roots do. They sense that water and they go to it. And yeah, they'll bust. What they'll do is the roots grow along the pipe until they find a crack or some opening, and then they stop there and they bust their way in eventually. Anyway, our Heavenly Father, thank you for gathering us once again, providing all of our needs. We give you praise and glory for all we have. We ask for your blessing tonight. We ask for wisdom and understanding, as always. Amen. That's cool. A bonsai tree, huh? All right, well, shall we get started? My comment thing stopped on my... This just doesn't work. If it does, oh, there it is, delayed. All right, so let's do this. Last two chapters of Daniel, book of Daniel that we've been reading on. It's kind of a short book, very interesting, a lot going on. Every chapter is very interesting stories and visions and dreams and all kinds of stuff. So it's not been a boring book, that's for sure. Not for me anyway. I don't know. I think it's pretty interesting. So anyway, here we are in the last two chapters, 11, 12. As you can see, this is amazing. I've never seen a book of the Bible with this little contradictions, which makes me think there's one author. Because one author can have its own contradictions, but you get more than one author. Yeah. You get pages of them sometimes. 3 authors, pages of them. Bonsai tree is miniature, grows in small container. Yeah. Yep, I remember them. They have fake ones too, but the real ones are cool. They had it on Karate Kid, remember? That's how I learned about bonsai trees. They had a Karate Kid, and then he wrecked Mr. Miyagi's tree, so he went. Wasn't he hanging off of a cliff trying to get one growing out of a rock or something? Risked his life to get another one. I can't remember. Same thing. It was by the water, growing out of a crack. All right. Anyway, Daniel's son. Oh, speaking of Daniel's son, Daniel, contradictions, 3 contradictions. There was one in chapter 1, one in the first chapter. There's 2 contradictions, air quotes, contradict. They're not really big ones. In the last chapter here that we're going to see tonight. So we're going to see, is there a resurrection from the dead? Now, this it depends who you ask, because we can all read the same book in the Old Testament. That's why the Jews and the Pharisees had their, their disagreements about the afterlife, and because it really is vague. Now, I know Jewish people have other things. They got the Talmud, or I don't know. They got other books that give them more information. But as far as the Old Testament, it really is vague, very vague about what happens after you die. So I can see this being a contradiction. Anyway, so is there to be a resurrection from the dead? Daniel 12:2. Remember that one? Everybody knows this one. They don't know 12:1 or 12:3, but they know Daniel 12. Is death final? Well, here. A little bit. I really like their new logo. I'm tethered here. Hold on a second. Skeptics and annotated Bible. The pen sticking through the Bible, whatever it is. All right. So back up a little bit so you can see. I love this on the. You know what they always have? So they have skeptics and native Bible. They've got the Bible, the Book of Mormon, and the Quran. Contradictions, all contradictions in the Bible. I think you can pick the other ones too. You can pick the Quran, and I've never done that, but looks like it. Looks like we're on the Bible site. But look what they got. They always have this too. God is not the author of confusion. 1 Corinthians 14:33. Well, and then it's a joke, you see. It's they're being funny or whatever. Or maybe they're being serious. I don't know. But it refers to all the contradictions because that is a little confusing. All these Bible verses being contradicting is a little confusing. So, all right. So, is death final? This is what we're going to see tonight. 12, 2, Daniel 12:2. Where is 12:2? Well, this is supposed to be about Daniel 12:2. Is death final? Yes, death is final. According to Joshua, Job. And by the way, I showed I don't know, a month or two ago, can't remember, month, that these multiple earlier books that nobody knows where they came from or whatever, who wrote them, these are Mesopotamian books. These are from like Job, Jonah, the story of the flood. What else? You guys know. We went over that. But anyway, I digress. Psalm, Ecclesiastes, 3 times, Isaiah, Maccabees, first Maccabees. And then, or no, there will be a resurrection from the dead. Now, these are Bible verses that say, yes, there is. Well, they allude to or they say or whatever, they're like reference to a resurrection is Isaiah, which is funny because Isaiah said there is none, but then Isaiah says there is. So that is a contradiction within itself, its own book. You see that a lot, actually. It's common, especially in the Gospels. No, just kidding. But not really kidding. No, there will be a resurrection from the dead, according to Isaiah, Ezekiel, Daniel 12:1 tonight. We're going to read when we get to 12. So, anyway, we'll get to that when we get to that. Matthew, Luke, John, the Gospels, which I was just referencing to. John, Acts, 1 Corinthians, John, all New Testament books there. Revelation. So, like I said, depends who you ask. Now, if you look, you see, they're referring to Daniel. This question is for the book of Daniel, but if you gathered all the books together and asked all the books, is there death? Is death final? A bunch of you see what's in common here. Just see what's going on here. The ones that all say death is final are Old Testament books. See that? Joshua, Job. No, I mean, you don't see a single New Testament book that says it's final. You see that? That's my point. And even Maccabees. But then you get to is there life after death? Is there an afterlife? Most talked about it is in the New Testament. Like I said, New Testament. But then you got some like a one-liner here from the book of Daniel. Ezekiel, that one sounds like the dry bones and all that. When that's definitely a resurrection of dead people, and more in Isaiah. So anyway, so you got mixed. The Old Testament is mixed. Some say yes, some say no. But the New Testament 100% says yes, there's a resurrection. Not one book in the New Testament is going to say no, there's no resurrection. That's not going to happen. Otherwise, it wouldn't have control over you. That's what it's all about. All right. And then the second contradiction is it okay to swear? And Daniel 12:7, we're going to see that come up. What do they mean by swear? Okay, they're talking about swearing an oath, not like cuss words. I don't think there's anything about that. Anyway, is it okay to swear? And they're talking about swearing an oath. The words are blurry. That's probably better. This would be part of it will be cut off, but you can probably see better. All right. Is it okay to swear? And they're talking about swearing an oath, not bad language. Which that's probably not good. All right. Is it a little better? Is it okay to swear? Yes. Is one of the commandments. Thou shalt swear by God's name. Thou shalt swear by his name in Deuteronomy 6 and 10. He shall sweareth in the earth, swear by the God of truth in Isaiah. You shall swear the Lord lives in Jeremiah. Swear by the name the Lord liveth in Jeremiah. You shall not by. Oh wait, I'm sorry. And here's a different option. But when you swear to God, you got to do what you swore to do and tell the truth. Like when you cross your heart and hope to die. You have to do it. Or step on your mother's back. So yes, you can swear. There's actually commandments where you should. And then there is, yes, you should, but you better mean it kind of thing. You shall not swear by the name falsely. Like, don't just say, I swear to God I didn't do it. You hear that all the time. So don't, you can swear, but don't do it falsely. When a man shall make a singular vow, it shall not alter, change, or anyway. So keep your vow. Anyway, same with Numbers, Deuteronomy, Psalms. I'm sorry, Number and Deuteronomy. And then here, everyone who swears by God will glory. Like it's a good thing. Everyone who swears by him shall glory in Psalm 63. Many man's favorite people swore to God. Abraham swore to God. He said, now therefore swear unto me here by God. And Abraham said, I will swear. So God made Abraham swear to him. So in Genesis 21, 23 to, can you see that? 23 to, I can't even see where my mouse is. So anyway, Genesis 21, 23 to 24. He even made his servant put his hand under Abraham's thigh while he's swearing to God. Yeah, remember that? That's what they used to do. They'd put their hand in the other man's groin. That means you're swearing on your seed. Putting his hand under his thigh is a euphemism for holding his genitals in his hand, okay? That's what they're really doing. It's like swearing on the Bible, except you're holding the other guy's genitals, which to them it means you better swear on your children, right? If not, my seed will come after you, your seed. You know what I'm saying? All right. And Abraham said to the eldest servant, I pray thee under my thigh. So he swore with his hand on the other guy's junk. So, I mean, there's all over the place. And they're doing a good thing. Jacob swore by the fear of his father Isaac. Swearing. Daniel's clothed guy swore to God while walking on water. The linen guy. They had a linen guy? A laundry service? Who's the linen guy? Oh, linen clothed guy. Daniel's linen clothed guy swore to God while walking on water. Well, there you go. It's good enough for him, right? O house of Jacob swore in the name of the Lord. Angel in Revelation swore to God. The Lord's anger was kindled at the same time as he swore. It swore. Or, look at this. You know the only time it says you can't swear to God and take an oath? Dun, dun, dun. New Testament. Look at 2 passages in the New Testament. Matthew 5:34-37, and James 5:12. 2 tiny little passages say that you're not supposed to swear on nothing. So 2 sentences, passages, and everybody, all Christians, disregard all this. You know why? Because they don't know the Old Testament. Here's one in Hebrew. God swearing to himself. Anyway, look at all these are disregarded because Matthew, somebody named Matthew, we don't even know. They didn't say I, Matthew. We don't know who wrote Matthew. Who was the other one? John? Where was the other one? James. Okay, so James and Matthew. He did say I, James, servant of Jesus. People are kind of doing the math saying this is James's brother. Could be, I don't know, whatever. But anyway, you got 2 mostly unidentified people, authors, saying that you shouldn't swear, but you got the whole entire Old Testament. And look at this. In the book of Revelation, they said, yeah, and the angel swore by himself that he lives forever and ever. And sometimes God swears himself. So, yeah, the angels are making oaths, swearing oaths, even in the New Testament. Anyway, so because of 2 little sentences, everybody says you can't swear an oath. I remember they called up me. I was supposed to testify in some court thing. And the prosecutor called me out and was asked if I had testified and said, yeah, but I can't swear oath. The Bible says not to. Well, they called me back now. I'd say, like, yeah, I'll swear oath. Where's that Bible? Give it to me. But no, I mean, kind of made a fool out of myself. Because, I mean, but she said, you're not the first one to say that. And so they had provisions for me if I were, that case never went to trial. I don't know what they took care of it on their own. But anyway, the case never went to trial. But when I said I can't be sworn on no Bible, because it says not to, because I'm only reading the New Testament. I don't know nothing about the Old Testament. But I'm telling the prosecutor, I can't be sworn on no Bible. She said, well, we got provisions for that. You'll do something else. I don't know what the other thing else was. But I'm like, okay. Or just, I don't know, you just promise to tell the truth or something. You don't put your hand on that. Whatever. But I thought, hey, this is the right thing to do. Even if I look really stupid doing this, I'm going to do it. And yeah, I did. All right. Anyway, turns out now, yeah, I would not have a problem. In fact, I think it's a good thing to swear an oath because you're supposed to be keeping your word anyway. And look at all the ones that said you should, and God made people do it. All right, so here we are, the last 2 chapters of Daniel, 11 and 12. The kings of the south and the north. I forgot to look how. Holy buckets, 45 passages long. All right. They seem to be focused on their genitals a lot with circumcision, castration. I think so too, D. Yeah. And you know what? Like I said, I was suspicious when they were saying, all of a sudden God tells Abraham to circumcise you and everybody else. And Abraham never said, hey, wait a minute. What circumcision? We don't never heard of that. No, because they were doing it in Egypt long before Abraham did the first one. I remember we had a big discussion about oaths then. Yeah, right. And I'm like, I'm not taking an oath. I'm not supposed to take an oath. So I told the prosecutor, I'm not taking an oath. I'll testify. I'll be a witness for whatever you want me to do, whatever. But I ain't taking an oath. It's against the Bible. She's like, yeah, we hear that. You know, we already we have other people that do that. So she said, don't worry about that. We'll have something else for you. maybe I was supposed to cross my heart and hope to die, or whatever all the other ones are. Yep, we did have a big discussion, and it was nerve wracking. Anyway, they did end up, them and their whatever their problem was, they ended up settling out of court, so I didn't have to go do nothing. But anyway, but I stood up for what I believed at the time. I don't believe that anymore, so you know what I mean. All right, so we better get going here. Daniel, chapter 11. We're going to do 11 and 12 and finish up. The kings of the south and the north. Can you guys see that? I hope so. I know it might be blurry. All right, the kings of the south and the north. Daniel chapter 11. As for me, in the first year of Darius of Mede, I stood up to confirm and strengthen him. And now I will show you the truth. Behold, 3 or more kings shall rise in Persia, and a 4th shall be far richer than all of them. And when he has become strong through his riches, he shall stir up all against the kingdom of Greece. Then a mighty king shall rise, who shall rule with a great dominion, and do as he wills. And as soon as he has arisen, his kingdom shall be broken and divided toward the 4 winds of heaven, but not to his posterity, nor according to the authority with which he ruled. For his kingdom shall be plucked up and go to others besides these. When the king of the south shall be strong, one of his princes shall be stronger than he, and shall rule, and his authority shall be a great authority. After some years they shall make an alliance, and the daughter of the king of the south shall come to the king of the north to make an agreement. But she shall not retain the strength of her arm, and he and his arm shall not endure, but she shall be given up, and her attendants, and he who fathered her, and he who supported her in those times. Footnote says, or obtained her. Those who obtained her. Yeah, you can see it. Okay, good. Quote, and from a branch from her roots, one shall rise in his place. He shall come against the army and enter the fortress of the king of the north, and he shall deal with them and shall prevail. He shall also carry off to Egypt their gods with their metal images and their precious vessels of silver and gold. And for some years he shall refrain from attacking the king of the north. Then the latter shall come into the realm of the king of the south, but shall return to his own land. Quote, his son shall wage war and assemble a multitude of great forces, which shall keep coming and overflow and pass through, and again shall carry the war as far as his fortress. And the king of the south, moved with rage, shall come out and fight against the king of the north. And he shall raise a great multitude, but it shall be given into his hand. And then the multitude is taken away. His heart shall be exalted, and he shall cast down tens of thousands, but he shall not prevail. For the king of the north shall rise again. For the king of the north shall again raise a multitude greater than the first. And after some years, I want to see what the footnote says. And after some years, or at the end of times, That is very interesting, you guys, because people read these as end time prophecies. Which, anyway. So in the Hebrew, in the original, you guys, this says at the end of time. So after some years, with end of times, he shall come on with a great army and abundant supplies. Quote, in those times, many shall rise against the king of the south, and the violent among your own people shall lift themselves up in order to fulfill the vision, but they shall fail. Then the king of the north shall come and throw up siege works and take a well-fortified city, and the forces of the south shall not stand, or even his best troops, for there shall be no strength to stand. But he who comes against him shall do as he wills, and none shall stand before him. And he shall stand in the glorious land with destruction in his hand. He shall set his face to come with the strength of his whole kingdom, and he shall bring terms of agreement and perform them. He shall give them the daughter of women to destroy the kingdom, but it shall not stand or be to his advantage. Footnote says her or it, the daughter of the women to destroy her or destroy it or destroy the kingdom, but it shall not stand or be to his advantage. Afterward, he shall turn his face to the coastlands and shall capture many of them. But a commander shall put an end to his insolence. Indeed, he shall turn his insolence back upon him. Footnote says in the Hebrew meaning it says uncertain. So uncertain, being uncertain, he shall turn his insolence back upon him. Then he shall turn his face back toward the fortress of his own land, but he shall stumble and fall and shall not be found. Quote, then shall arise in his place one who shall send an extractor or an exactor of tribute for the glory of the kingdom. But within a few days he shall be broken, neither in anger nor in battle. In his place shall rise a contemptible person whom royal majesty has not been given. He shall come in without warning and obtain the kingdom of flatteries. Army shall be utterly swept away before him and broken, even the prince of the covenant. And from the time that the alliance is made with him, he shall actually act deceitfully, and he shall become strong with the small people. Without warning, he shall come into the richest parts of the province. Putting a long time to load. Come on there. It says, or come into the richest among the richest men of the richest parts of the province, and he shall do what neither his fathers nor his fathers' fathers have done, scattering among them plunder, spoil, and goods. He shall devise plans against strongholds, but only for a time. And he shall stir up his power in his heart against the king of the south with a great army. And the king of the south shall wage war with an exceedingly great and mighty army, but he shall not stand, for plots shall be devised against him. Even those who eat his food shall break him. His army shall be swept away, and many shall fall down slain. And as for the two kings, anybody know who these kings are? And as for the two kings, their hearts shall be bent on doing evil. They shall speak lies at the same table, but to no avail, for the end is yet to be at the time appointed. Be nice to see who they said that these kings were. I mean, you know what I mean? And he shall return to his land with great wealth, but his heart shall be set against the holy covenant. His heart shall be set against the holy covenant. Interesting. And he shall work his will and return to his own land. Quote, at that time appointed, he shall return and come into the south, but it shall not be this time as it was before. For ships of Kittim shall come against him, and he shall be afraid and withdraw, and shall turn back and and be enraged and take action against the Holy Covenant. He shall turn back and pay attention to those who forsake the Holy Covenant. Forces of him shall appear and profane the temple and fortress, and shall take away the regular burnt offering, and they shall set up the abomination that makes desolate. I think that was destruction of Jerusalem, the second temple. He shall seduce. I mean, unless it's talking about the first time. It's either the first or second time. There is no other time. Because there's not a third temple, so it's either first or second. And when he's writing this, hasn't the first one already been destroyed? It had to be in the second temple, right? And he shall seduce with flattery who violate the covenant. I mean, he's in captivity after Babylon destroyed it. You know what I mean? So obviously the first one's destroyed. The second one hasn't been built yet, but now it is destroyed. So got to be talking about the second one. I mean, am I wrong? I heard the Pence and Trump Pence. I heard they were Obama Nation. Put them together. Obama Nation. Trump Pence. I made that up. Actually, Grace made it up, and she shared it with me. So we've spread that all over YouTube. He shall seduce with flattery those who violate the covenant, but the people who know their God shall take action. And the wise among the people shall make many understand. Though for some days they shall stumble by the sword and flame, by captivity and plunder. Anyway, when they stumble, they shall receive a little help, and many shall join themselves to them with flattery. And some of the wise shall stumble, so that they may be refined, purified, and made white. That's remember, that was also in Revelation. Revelation copied this right here. Refined in the fire, made white, right? Until the time of the end, for it still awaits the appointed time. Quote, and the king shall do as he wills. He shall exalt himself and magnify himself above every god, and shall speak astonishing things against the God of gods. He shall prosper till the indignation is accomplished, for what is decreed shall be done. He shall pay no attention to the gods of his fathers, or to the only beloved by women. Or the one beloved by women. What does that mean? He shall pay no attention to the gods of his fathers, small g's, or to the one beloved by women. Who is that? He shall not pay attention to any other god, for he shall magnify himself above all. He shall honor the God, small g, God of fortress instead of these. He shall honor the God of the fortresses instead of these, a God whom his fathers did not know. He shall honor with gold and silver and precious stones and costly gifts. He shall deal with the strongest fortress with the help of a foreign god. Those who acknowledge him, he shall load with honor. He shall make them rulers over many, and shall divide the land for a price, or as a payment. Quote, at that end of time, the king of the south shall attack him, or thrust at him. But the king of the north shall rush upon him like a whirlwind, with chariots and horsemen, and with many ships. And he shall come into the countries, and shall overflow and pass through. He shall come into the glorious land, and tens of thousands shall fall. But these shall be delivered out of his hand, Edom and Moab, and the main part of the Ammonites. He shall stretch out his hand against the countries, and the land of Egypt shall not escape. He shall become the ruler of the treasure of gold and of silver, and of all the precious things of Egypt. And the Libyans and the Cushites shall follow his train. They had trains back then? But news from the east and the north shall alarm him, and he shall go out with a great fury, to destroy and devote many to destruction. And he shall pitch his palatial tents between the sea and the glorious holy mountain. Yet he shall come to his end with no one to help him. And that's 11, and we're about to hit the last chapter of Daniel, the time of the end. And this is actually, you know what, it's very, there's hardly anything in the Old Testament that talks about end times or, I mean, a sentence here, a sentence there, not much. I mean, not like the New Testament's got all kinds of end time prophecies. You got the whole book of Revelation about the end times. You got Matthew 24. You got all kinds of tons of stuff. Even telling you what your house in heaven's going to look like. And anyway, a lot of details. But Old Testament, nah, not too much. But anyway, this is one of the few things in the Old Testament is Daniel 12. And Christians will, like parrots, they'll repeat this, but not really in context at all. Anyway, so last chapter for tonight. Let's see how long it is, shall we? Oh, it's a short one. Hi-oh, 13. All right, there we go. We can do it. So, last chapter for tonight, the time of the end, chapter 12. Quote, at that time shall arise Michael, the great prince who has charge of your people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never been since there was a nation till that time. I'd say that's the fall of Jerusalem in 70 AD. But anyway, but at that time your people shall be delivered, everyone whose name shall be found written in the book. But as many of those who sleep in the dust of the earth shall wake, some to everlasting life and some to everlasting shame and contempt. Now this here is your resurrection verse. Where is it? Part of this one? Well, anyway, this is the one the Christians quote. And this is one of the few that is talking about raising those who sleep in the dust. And we all know that they knew back then this is what they called being dead, sleeping in the dust. Some people might call it a dirt nap. But anybody who's dead shall wake. And then this kind of alludes to a judgment, some to everlasting life, some to everlasting contempt. Anyway, and those who are wise shall shine like the brightness of the above sky, or like the expanse. I like that. And those who turn many to righteousness, like the stars forever and ever. But you, Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book until the end of time. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall increase. Then I, Daniel, looked, and behold, two others stood, one on this bank of the stream and one on that bank of the stream. One said to the man clothed in linen, who was above the waters of the stream, footnote says was upstream, how long shall it be to the end of these wonders? The golden question. And I heard the man clothed in linen, who was above the waters of the stream, or upstream. He raised his right hand and his left hand toward heaven and swore by him who lives forever that it would be for times, and half a time. That's 3.5 years. And that when the shattering of the power of the holy people comes to an end of all these things would be finished. I heard, but I did not understand. Then I said, O my Lord, what shall be the outcome of these things? What shall be the outcome of these things? He said, go your way, Daniel, for the words are shut up and sealed until the end of time. Many shall purify themselves and make themselves white and be refined, but the wicked shall act wickedly. And none of the wicked shall understand, but those who are wise shall understand. Boy, they Christians can run with this one too. But you know what? And people will take these verses and say, this is the end, this is the end. They've done that forever. For 3,000 years or whatever, thousands and thousands of years, they have done that. Everybody picks this part. It's got to be now. Right here. Daniel 12:4. But you, Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book to the end of time. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall increase. Well, now we got planes that can go all over the earth and trains and stuff. And knowledge has increased. Yeah, we got the internet now, man. It's got to be now. Well, this is what they said when they invented the printing press. Knowledge shall increase. Look, they're printing. Now they can print out books, and look at the knowledge increasing. They said it all the time. Probably when they invented paper. They say it all the time. You can pick any time in history, and knowledge is increasing. You can pick any time in history, and the transportation is improving, expanding. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, you can look at that and make whatever you want of it. You can think it's the end. The end is here, no matter what time in history you live. Well, because the printing press. Yeah, well. And probably when people started to learn how to read and write. The printing press is the Pony Express. Wow, look at the information. Yeah, the Pony Express. Yeah, exactly. And with every invention, they think the information increases and things. Yeah. So someday it'll be the Jetsons. They'll be flying around saying, "Look, it's got to be the end times. Look at how we're going to and fro now, flying in spaceships." Well, they promised us that, 50 years ago? We never got that. What about Gilligan's on them jetpacks? We didn't get that either. We should have all had that by now. Knowledge has increased, but not necessarily wisdom. That's a good one, D. That should be right there. Knowledge has increased, but not necessarily wisdom increased. You're right. Actually, it seems like we're getting dumber. And yeah, there's more access now to all information than ever. But yeah, people are, isn't that weird? There's more and more information, more than ever has been available right now, but people seem to have been, chose not to learn. There's plenty of people who do like the information, and some people do want to go past 8th grade. You know what I mean? It's not wrong to go past the 8th grade. It's a good thing. You know how to talk and stuff. You know how to spell words and have a conversation. Anyway, what do you guys want, huh? All right, sharks are circling me. Maybe I'll get off of here. So that finishes up Daniel. Is it prophecy? I don't know. I think tomorrow. I don't know what we're gonna do tomorrow. I was thinking about going over a summary of Daniel. I don't know. I'll figure that out when I get there. Tomorrow's got to be, yeah. Anyway, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But anyway, Daniel's done. So, doctors are required to go past. I know. The same doctors that certain people run to every day, and then insult them because they're educated. Well, if you don't like people that are highly educated, then why do you run down there every time you got a problem? Why you run to them to solve your problems if they're so bad? Well, thank you. Well, thank you, ladies. It was fun. My dogs are getting excited, like I'm getting ready to be done here. And Killer had a piece of rice stuck on his face. Yeah. All right. Heavenly Father, thank you for gathering us once again. We thank you for all of our blessings. Hallelujah. Amen. Well, thank you, ladies, and anybody else who's listening or listening in. Thanks for listening in, and if you're listening on the replay, thanks for listening on the replay. It's fun. I hope to see you guys tomorrow night. I hope you have an awesome rest of the evening. Sleep well. Hope the Lord blesses you abundantly, and I hope you all have blessed with a nice, restful sleep. A shout out to Pinch, Che, his wife, everybody. Oh, there, Grace has the list. Shalom, Mr. and Mrs. Chazy, newlyweds. Have a blessed day, Pinch. Blood saves. Michael, Thomas, Sandra. Well, thank you, Grace. She rolled out the list. Thank you. All right. Well, love you guys. Yeah, good night, sweet dreams. You too, Dee. Love you guys. Thanks for coming in. Hope to see you tomorrow night. Bless you all. Hallelujah and shalom. And glory to God. Hallelujah. Love you too, Grace. Love you guys. Love you all. Good night. Sleep tight. My dog is making weird noises here. All right. Am I able to leave the building? I think so. All right. Uh-oh.